All right, this project, I have had this recipe box for quite some time, and I decided it is time to get this, upcycled and out of my craft room. My plan for this is to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color celery. And I'm going to use some of the new IOD Christmas release transfers on this. And possibly a mold as well to cover up recipes on here. All right, our box is all painted. I just love this green from Waverly, celery green. I did add a mold. This is from the Lock and Key mold by IOD. So what I'm going to do now is put some transfers on here from the new IOD release, Partridge Lane. And I am going to be adding, oh my God, this is like the perfect transfer. I am going to be adding this one to the top of our box. Transfers are very easy to apply. You just peel off the backing sheet. I'm gonna try to get this somewhat centered. And I think it, okay. And grab your transfer tool that comes with every IOD transfer book. And I like to run over the entire transfer with the transfer stick, holding it down so it doesn't move on you when you're rubbing it. And then I'll pick up one corner and start lifting up on the transfer. And that helps to release it from your vellum sheet. And if you lift it up and you see there's still some transfer left on your sheet of vellum, you just lay it back down and re-rub that area. And it should transfer for you.
Oh, I love this transfer book. It's great. I purposely got this booklet because of these houses. I really loved them.
Look at that. Oh, that's fabulous. Fabulous. Okay, now I'm going to add this pretty garland on here. I want to try and center the bow. Okay. All right, guys. So I got the transfers on. I am going to be painting this mold gold, but I'm going to wait till I seal this in first so that if I get some gold down here, I could just wipe it off with a wet wipe. But I do want to add these pretty little antique gold or brass corner pieces. I got these on Temu. Oh, there's Binks. Hi, buddy. So I'm going to put these on with some Starbond super glue. But I have to be very careful because I don't want it to leak all over everything. I'm trying to just put little dabs. Whoa, it's getting all over me though. That's because the bottle, I had to cut the tip. So the hole is big. Okay. I just wanted to add a little something extra on the top. And I think that really looks pretty like that. Okay, so I am going to take this outside. I'm going to give it a coat of a clear matte sealer. And then I'm going to come back and paint the faux lock. All right, so this has all been sealed in. I painted the mold here. And now I'm going to take, I also distressed the edges a little bit with some sandpaper. Now I'm going to take my Tim Holtz Distress ink in walnut. And I'm going to go around the edges of this just to add a little bit more dimension. Just lightly. I'm not using a lot, just enough to add some shadowing. All right, friends, for our next project, this I bought at, I believe it was Goodwill, and it originally had this plaque on it, the 10 Commandments, and I wanted this piece just for the plaque, so I was able to pry this off. And of course, this could always be put on another piece of wood, so I am going to put it aside. So what my plans for this are, well, first what I did is I filled the holes in with some air dry clay. Then I took this outside and gave it a sand. Now I'm going to leave the color that's on the perimeter of this alone because I love it. But I have a really nice piece of decoupage paper that I want to put on here. So I'm going to need to paint this a light color. so that my decoupage paper will be nice and vibrant. So I'm just going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster. And hopefully I'm only going to have to give this one coat. I don't think it's, you know, it's not going to need, I don't think, 2 coats. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm going away on vacation tomorrow, so I wanted to try to get my last project done for this week's video. So here we are. I've got like a million things on my mind. So don't forget this, and do you got that? And you know how it goes when you're going away for a little bit. All right, so all right, so this is about 1 1/4 coats. So I'm going to just set this aside for a second because I'll show you the decoupage paper that we're going to be using. And this is from Decoupage Central. It is, there it is, A3. So what I need to do is, I need to go around these 2 end edges with my water pen and take those edges off. If you don't have a water pen, you can get the same thing done with a paintbrush dipped in some water. These edges are going to end up on the actual plaque, where the top ones will not, because the plaque is not as wide as my paper is, so I'll be able to sand the top and the bottom off, if that makes sense. But I do want to make sure that these edges are feathered and not straight cut. Because that'll make it easier to blend it in. Okay, there we go. Okay, see how you get that feathered? That's what you want. Okay, so now let's bring our plaque back. And I'm going to lay out my paper where I want it, and I want to try to make it even on the ends. I want to get as much of the pumpkins in as I can, but I also want to get the top of the truck in there too, so as best as I can. I think that's good, just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with what is called a starter strip. And I also want to get my spray bottle because I'm going to spray my paper. So I'm going to start with a starter strip. I'm going to paint just a small area. I'm going to spritz my paper. By spraying your paper, it helps the fibers to open up. And you get like, I can't say you'll never get a wrinkle, but you'll get way less wrinkles if you spray your paper. I'm just going to do the whole area. Make sure you get your edges and make sure I don't knock over my bottle of Mod Podge. That would not be good. Okay. And then I'm going to smooth it over. You don't want to overwork it. All right, now I'm going to turn my plaque the opposite way, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. And now I am going to go over the entire piece of paper with my Mod Podge. All right, so now we're going to let this dry. All right, so our decoupage paper has dried for the most part. So I am going to sand off the excess paper, and I'm just using this finger sander, and I'm just going to kind of go in a downward motion. Earlier. I will get those pieces. There we go. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera on you guys. Are you dizzy yet? Okay. All right, so we've got all of our excess paper off, and it looks wonderful. However, I am going to try to blend these end areas to make it look like it's all part of the background. Just trying to clean up this dust. So I'm going to need, like, you look at your colors in the background and you pick your paints accordingly. So basically we've got like a peach color, we've got brown, we've got like an ivory color. Over on this end, we've got a very pale yellow and some, like a salmon color. So basically, we're going to pick our paints that we think we're going to need in order to blend this all in together. All right, so I have some black that doesn't want to come out of the bottle. I don't know why. Just going to put a little bit of black on my plate. I'm going to put some of this beautiful yellow color. This is Fusion in the color, where is it? Prairie Sunset. How can I forget that? I love this color. And I'm going to add a little bit of, this is Waverly chalk paint in the color Pink Cloud. I'm going to add a little bit of that on the plate. I'm going to add Fusion Tuscan Orange. I'm also going to add a little bit of this on there. And some white. Okay. And I also have some brown, and this is Dixie Belle Coffee Bean. I am going to add a little bit of this as well. And we'll see what we come up with. So, I'm going to start on this end here. I'm going to zoom in. Whoops. That's too close. Hold on. There we go. And I'm going to start with the black. And I'm just kind of dabbing it on my plate here. And I'm just going to kind of dab it over here and blend it in. And then you see it starts to turn, you know, a little bit brown. Let me add some more black here. There was too much white mixed in there, and there's still too much white. Okay, now I'm going to go over here to the brown. And I'm not cleaning my brush off. I'm just dabbing right in along with the black. And I'm going to go with some white now to lighten up that brown. This brown has more of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's a, that's not even brown. It has gray in it, so it's not exactly the color that I need here. All right, let me grab some of, yeah, no, this is not. It's just a matter of messing around with your paint colors and blending them together, hence the word blending, to get everything to kind of match up with your background that's already there. And I'm going to dab this excess off. I can clean that off of there. So I'm not, I need some more of the black. No, it turned gray. I put some water on there to thin out the yellow. And all right, so I'm gonna go like that, and then I need a different color brown. We're gonna move down to this end. I'll come back to this other end, which should have been the easier of the two ends. All right, so we're gonna take some of this yellow. I'm going to spray my brush. With some water. Okay, and now I'm going to dab that. And that looks better already. Look at that. I really don't even have to do anything more to this. Mix it with some of this white that's on here and the yellow, and I'm just going to kind of if you want to watch somebody that's amazing with blending technique, that would be Connie Lyons. She's amazing. She's an artist, and she just does some amazing blending techniques. And then I'm just going to kind of like blend on down into the rest of the stuff there. I'm just going to dip my brush in here, and I'm just going to kind of blend it in a little bit so it's not so noticeable. I need a little bit of water on my paper towel to blend it a little bit better. All right, friends. So this is my blend job. It is not the best I've ever done, but hey, it beats having stark white ends on your project. So, like I said, I am definitely not an artist, and I never claimed to be. So if you would like to learn blending techniques, you definitely need to watch Connie Lyons, the painted photographer. I will be sure and link her channel in the description box. And I'm just trying to wipe off whatever all of this is that's on my edges here. I don't know how that got it. Oh, that's probably from sanding. That's what that is. So the only thing that's left for me to do, as I said, is I will spray the entire surface with a clear matte sealer, and then I will just put a sawtooth hanger on the back, and then this project will be complete. Let me know what y'all think of this project in the comments.